Hey, welcome back to another episode of Exit the Norm. I'll be your host, Jeff.
Not Jeff.
Today we're in Dover, New Hampshire, and more specifically, we're standing outside the Riverside Rest Home here.
So today we're going to tell you the story about a asylum fire that happened pretty close to this location. It was around 1893.
All right, but before we do that, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for us. Maybe you'll learn something. During a blinding snowstorm on a Wednesday night, all the way back on February 9th of 1893, a horrible tragedy struck the city of Dover. On that night, 41 out of 44 inmates at the Strafford County Asylum lost their lives in one of the worst fires this area has ever seen. The area in question is currently known as the Strafford County Complex. It's home to a number of agencies for the county today, but back in the 19th century, this area was known as the Strafford County Poor Farm. Back then, each county had an area designated as a poor farm, where the local paupers or poor citizens were housed and fed. Now, some of these people were also mentally ill and had to be housed in a separate facility. So here in Strafford County, they were housed in a separate insane asylum at the farm. The asylum was located where the current building is here, which now houses the work release program and a drug and alcohol rehabilitation service. It's attached to the nursing home here on County Farm Road. The asylum was kind of a rundown two-story building with an attic. It contained 56 cells, not rooms, where the inmates were locked for most of the day and night. The first floor was occupied by the attendant of the asylum, William Driscoll, and his family, along with 17 inmates. The second floor was occupied by 19 inmates, and the attic housed the remaining 8 inmates. The windows to the asylum were barred by 4 or more bars, and some of the windows had heavy wire screening on the inside to prevent escape. It was around 10 p.m. on February 9th when the night watchman, Wilbur Chesley, saw the reflection of a fire in the cell of inmate Mary LaFontaine while he was doing his rounds. The fire was relatively small at first, and it was no larger than a bushel basket, he says, and could have easily been extinguished with a nearby fire hose, but neither Driscoll nor Chesley did so. The men panicked, and a disaster ensued. The fire quickly spread throughout the building. Driscoll was able to unlock the cell of LaFontaine and a nearby cell of Jim Daly, along with a few of the other cells on the first floor, before barely escaping the blaze with his family. Only 3 of the inmates were able to make it out of the building. The other 41 inmates were cremated in the blaze. By the time the firefighters got there at around midnight, the building was a complete loss, and identification of the remains was nearly impossible. It was the biggest loss of life in any fire here in the city of Dover, and many policies and procedures were adopted as a result of it. But something like this should never have happened. After the investigation of the fire, authorities found that negligence, poor management, and general ineptitude contributed to this massive loss of life. Now, thankfully, the citizens here in Dover erected this memorial to remember these forgotten individuals. Otherwise, we probably would never even know they existed. Hey, congratulations, you made it all the way to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Make sure you do follow us to get more crazy awesome videos and stuff.
All right, we'll see you later.